So everybody knows all the major key signatures, right? Do you feel like you know your major key signatures a lot better than you did last week? Mm-hmm. You're learning, right? You got to keep drilling those things. You got to learn those so that you're ready to go with them fast. All right, so today I want to talk to you, I'm going to teach you my formula for making a minor key signature. This is C major, right? Everybody look up here real quick. That's C major. You see the key signature and the scale, okay? In order to make it minor, we have one simple step. Add 3 flats. See at the top there it says major key signature plus 3 flats equals the minor key signature. Okay, so I've added 3 flats. Of course, they got to come in the order, B, E, A. I've added those 3 flats. Looks like E flat major, but it starts on C and ends on C. We know it's C minor instead. It just so happens when you add those 3 flats to any major key, those 3 flats will happen to lower the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th scale degree. See the way it's, and I've got them in red there, and I've written it on the bottom. Those 3 flats lower the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th. Dig? That's all it is. It's so easy. Let's do another one. E flat major. It's already got 3 flats, right? Mm-hmm. Add 3 flats to that. What do you got? 6 flats.
6 flats.
Again, those flats we added, the ones that we added here are this D flat. Look at how I've written it over there in red. D flat. I added the G flat. That lowered the 3rd. And I added the C flat. That lowered the 6th. And now we have E flat minor. It looks like G flat major, right? But it's not, because it starts on E flat and ends on E flat. That's E flat minor. Simple rule. Gary's simple rule. So what's the definition you're going to memorize? How do you make a major key minor? Add 3 flats. Just that simple. It's just like I said in the last class, it's kind of stupid, but if you're making a cake, add 3 eggs to it, now you got brownies, right? It's not really true, so don't try that, but it's true. That's my little formula. Let's do another one. You're thinking, okay, this is a little confusing. D major, 2 sharps. What's going to happen when we add 3 flats to that? It's kind of hairy, right? Oh, yeah. It's not really that hairy, but it is a little fancier than the other ones. The first 2 are going to be canceled out. The first 2, they cancel out. 2 sharps plus 3 flats comes out with 1 flat in the end, okay? And again, look at what happened. We lowered the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th, right? Dig? Cool. Everyone see how that? And it looks kind of sloppy there, but I've rewritten it here so you can see it a little easier. That's D minor. That's D minor. So can we review real quick? To make a minor key, add 3 flats to the major key. Now you got a minor key. The end of the story. Okay? If you have 7 sharps and you add 3 flats, now you're left over with 4 sharps, right? Yes, sir.
Does this tie in at all to relative minor and major?
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that, okay? So now, not only do I need you to know that stuff, but that minor is what we call a natural minor. That's a natural minor. When you just add 3 flats, that is the natural form. There are 3 flavors, as I call them, 3 flavors of a minor scale, okay? There's the natural minor, and then there's a couple other ones I'm going to tell you about. I think it's ingenious, and I always wonder, you know, I have this thing, you've heard of the drunk history, right? Well, this is drunk theory with Gary. Drunk theory with Gary, okay? Except for I'm sober and I'm just kind of crazy. So here's the deal. I like to think of a bunch of monks getting together and say, okay, what do we have to order flats to be? Oh, yeah, let's make them the opposite for sharps, you know, and all these monks had this little convention. The next year they got together and said, well, this is the rule for major keys and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, then they eventually said, well, let's make some minor keys, because this is getting boring saying everything in major. So let's make some minor keys. Let's add 3 flats. Okay, Brother Joe says add 3 flats. Okay, this really didn't happen, by the way. Okay, I'm making all this stuff up, but just kind of fantasize with me for a minute, okay? And that created the natural form. And then Brother Oscar comes along. He says, look, man, I want to add my bit too. I want to make a harmonic minor scale. I think we should do that minor thing like Brother Joe says, but let's add the 7th. Let's raise the 7th, okay? Let's raise the 7th, and it's going to be a different sound. Listen to the natural minor scale, by the way. Right? It's kind of sad sounding, especially compared to major. Doesn't that sound happy? And then minor. Well, then, like I say, Brother Oscar, who really doesn't even exist, he came up and said, let's make this harmonic. Right? right? You want to say it was Brother Oscar from Egypt or what, you know? It sounds weird like that, okay? So, it has that Egyptian sound, and that's because of this right here. Let's take a look at that interval without the red part. B flat to C, what kind of interval is it? Is C in the key of B flat? Yes.
Yeah.
Is B flat in the key of C?
No.
So we call that a major second, yes?
Yes.
What's bigger than a major second by a half step? Augmented second. Yes, so it's an augmented second. That's what's giving us that. That's what's giving us that little funky Egyptian kind of sound. Okay, so then let's pretend that another brother or Sister Mary came along, and Sister Mary says, I want to add my bit, I want a melodic scale. And I say we raise the sixth and the seventh on the way up, and then lower them back down on the way down. See how it starts out sad, and then it goes happy, and then it goes sad again. You know what I mean? It's almost like my dog died, right? Whoops, and then, but it comes back to life. But then it has a heart attack and dies again. Really stupid ways of remembering these things. But I just got to get you to remember all this stuff somehow. So that's the melodic form of the minor scale, okay? And I call it the schizophrenic form. You'll hear me refer to it as a schizophrenic. This is major, it's happy. Happy all the way, right? Then, natural minor. Sounds serious all the way. It's just serious, right? But then harmonic minor, it just sounds Egyptian, you know, it's snake charmer, right? And then this one goes happy and then it's schizophrenic, goes sad again, okay? So that's the melodic minor. Now, two more things I need you to remember, all those flavors. First of all, how do we make a minor key? Add 3 flats to the major key, right? And what flavor minor does that give you? Natural. How do you make it harmonic? Raise the 7th. How do you make it melodic? Raise the 6th and the 7th while you're going up. And when you come down, you lower it back to the natural form. Dig? Yeah. Two more things I want you to remember about all this stuff. Hold on. Save your questions. I'll get to the questions in a minute. This is B flat major on top. This is G minor on bottom. Does it look like G major with 3 flats added? That's because it is. It's G minor, okay? What do they share? The same key signatures. We call those relative scales. B flat major's relative minor is G minor. And if you said G minor, what's the relative major? B flat.
B flat.
Major. Dig? They share what? Key signatures. That's the purple part there. Parallel scales share the exact same lines and spaces. Here you have F major on top, and the bottom one looks like F major with 3 flats added, which is F minor. Dig, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is F minor. They share the exact same lines and spaces. Cool?
Cool.
And that's the end of the story. That took 8 minutes and 8 seconds.